What's good, y'all? This is Breeze Brewing from the Mighty Juggernauts. And make sure you subscribe and download the podcast, Library Rap, the hip-hop interviews with Tim Einenkel. Hip-hop journalism on the highest level.
Yeah, what's up? It's your boy Joel Ortiz, and I want everybody to make sure that they subscribe and download the podcast, Library Rap, the hip-hop interviews with Tim Einenkel. Yo, Tim, I hope all is well. You my guy. I know these interviews are not interviews, they're actually conversations, and I appreciate them all. Yawa.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ice-T. I want you to do something for me. Make sure you download and subscribe Library Rap, the hip-hop interviews with Tim Einenkel. It is fucking official. All right? Stop playing. Download and subscribe. Library Rap, the hip-hop interviews with Tim Einenkel.
Static
Every single word. Staying optimistic is exhausting. Fitting feel like Pipton, like I'm whining. Circle vicious and I'm caught in it. Often, not gonna be a fact, more like the cause. Know they order tall, but the measure not how low you get, but how far you can fall from.
Kipp Stone, welcome to Library Rap, the hip-hop interviews with Tim Einenkel. Thank you so much for being here.
For having me, man.
Progression, identity like the water. Speaking of it, striving to stay above it. Poverty like a mind state, still trying to recover. Trying not to become it. Thought of it, tie my stomach. Leaving the way you came in with nothing. Somebody love me, want another and another. My sister and my brother. Any nigga that don't know me from Joe Blow, I can touch him with a song. I remind them they never really alone. I'm going against conviction correctly. I'm never wrong from intention. You might just lack a dimension up in your...
So, I mean, I obviously like to get a quick background on you. You know, you grew up in East Cleveland. Can you talk about growing up there and what was it like, but also what impact do you think it had on you, not just as a person, but as the artist that you are?
It's just like any rough neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You got just the stuff that you deal with just in the hood, I guess. But I don't know. It was fun too. Like that's what the whole like this whole campaign I've been on was like. The hood ain't just sad all the time.
Right.
East Cleveland was fun. That's like my home, and I always loved it, even before I like realized that it was the hood. Like I never, when I first like until I was like 18, I didn't even like realize that East Cleveland was the hood for real. Right. It was just my home. Like it was just my neighborhood. And then it wasn't until like I got like I said, like 18 or something. I was like, man, it was like really fucked up over here. And then like but like that just that awareness, like when in my adulthood, when I realized like, damn, this neighborhood is like a terrible place to live, that's when that impacted me, because it's like, oh, I have to say something about this, because like this is like a really, really, really dangerous place to live. It's like one of the most dangerous places in America to live. So like when that happened, I just like, when I realized that, like it just opened a whole nother door, like musically for me. Like I just felt like I had to let people, not let people know, but I had to like tell this side of the story, because it's like a unique place to be from.
And I wasn't asking this later about the new, you know, this has to do with the new project of Faygo Baby, but there's a line in the song, the title track of Faygo Baby, where you say, "No, I've not been diagnosed," right? And it kind of brought me back to a conversation I had with Farrah Monch on his PTSD project, where we talked about, you know, it was at the time where like PTSD from coming back from war was really in the news, but his big thing was, well, you know, people get PTSD from growing up, and that line kind of brought me back to that conversation. Do you feel like the music is your vehicle to kind of talk about this stuff as well?
Yeah, because it's like, again, with Cleveland, like Cleveland is like really bad on the mental health side too. Like, you know, it's a lot of cases of anxiety and depression and all that kind of stuff. And like, and black families, like we like don't deal with mental health the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody has like an anxiety disorder or something like that, or if they're like schizophrenic or bipolar, they just like, people just kind of make it seem like they know what they doing. Like when they start having like episodes or fits where they start going off, like people like they act like it's like something that they can control, like because they just don't really understand it for real. So like no, I wasn't diagnosed. Maybe it's just negligence. That's just like if I have really really bad anxiety, and like it started from like when I was kind of like a teenager, I guess, and I like whenever I used to come to like my parents or somebody like older than me, they would just like, it was like, oh, you just tripping, like just relax, it's not that serious, or what you got to be upset about, or you know what I'm saying, like really dismissive and just mishandling the whole thing. So it's just like, and rightfully so, because they, you know, people got their own stuff they dealing with. Just like I said in the song, like maybe I'm too no, I've not been diagnosed, maybe I'm just maybe it's just negligence, mama trying to feed and clothe, maybe I'm too sensitive. It's like, all right, well, my mom got all this stuff that she dealing with, and maybe I just got to just suck it up and try to figure it out for myself.
Right.
Like, that's like the cornerstone of most Black families.
Right. And of course, your mom is not showing. I mean, even if she is feeling this way, she's not showing it to you, because she has to be that strong rock for you, right? I mean, that's like the big thing, is that she has to show. So, and I imagine also there's that for parents, it's that. They feel like they've sheltered you enough, you know, or us enough from that world, but there's no way that there's no way that you actually are experience any of these things.
Yeah, because they, you know, their idea on mental health is like very unique to how they live throughout the day.
Right.
So when a mom comes home from a long ass day at work and her son is like, "Mom, I'm just feeling really depressed," and blah blah blah. She like, "Dude, I'm tired. Like, right. Figure it out."
Yeah, totally. She's like, "I just did a 9 to 5. Come on, let's go."
Yeah, dude. Like I used to tell my mom just like recently this started happening. I'll tell her stuff like that I was doing when I was a teenager or stuff that I was doing. She was like, "You what? You were doing what?" Like, yeah, dude.
Do you think? I mean, you're in your music, and I really appreciate that you're very open about yourself, obviously, to everyone. You're putting yourself on a audio, or whatever you want to call it, a cassette tape, MP3, a streaming service. You're out there, right? What is the what is the school of thought for you that you should be? I guess, who are your mentors maybe, or who were you listening to that, thought, okay, this is okay to be this open, but two, what has the kind of the reception been from fans, but also like family members and stuff like that?
Like I said, my mom will hear some stuff now and then and be like, wow, I didn't know you felt like that, or I didn't know this happened, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a couple, like, after I dropped I had a really long talk with one of my favorite aunties, and she was just like picking my brain, I guess, and she was like, "Dang, dude, like I did not know, like I really did not know that you felt like this. I did not know that you thought like this. I didn't know that's how you," because she was like there my whole life. She like had a very, very, very significant role in raising me, and so when she was just finding out all this stuff that I was. Like all of the stuff that's in these songs and stuff like that, she was just like, "Dude, I did not know that you felt like this. I didn't know you thought like this." Like, so it was pretty good. Like, so, and some family members just heard it and just kind of just brush it off to cater to my point before. Like, people just think I'm just making music and just saying shit, but like the reception is always good. I like it because it always opens up like a dialogue about the lyrics. I love that. I love like talking about stuff that I wrote in my song, because I wouldn't say it otherwise. If I didn't put it in a song, I wouldn't say it at all. Right.
And you have, like, I mean, throughout this, not just this project, but I think even in Ohm, you have incredible lyrics and like little gems that you drop. And I want to ask you about one of those lyrics off of Cheap Sangria, where you spit, "Your intellect is your greatest gift and your biggest opponent." This Cheap Sangria is a track that is really speaks to not just you, but I think many of us, our personal struggles we will go through. Can you kind of talk about this line and where you were at, and what kind of, how did it come to being, I guess?
That line came from Django.
Nice.
It was the scene when Leonardo and he improvised that whole scene, by the way, but we'll talk about it. That's another story for another day. But he had like the skull of this slave that used to like shave his dad. He used to shave his dad on the front porch. And like he was talking about something about the back of something about the back of his skull had something that it wasn't like it wasn't linked to like intellect. It's like something that he didn't have that had something, you know, that gave him intellect, or basically it just made him like subservient for real. So the line he said unburdened by genius, and just that choice of word, like unburdened by genius, is like, why would it be a burden? So I'm not calling myself a genius, but I am saying that like if like an intellectual, if you were like a really, really deep thinker or like a real introvert, sometimes it's cool because you're able to sort through stuff more than the average person. But like when you want to turn that shit off and it won't go off, it's like, goddamn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We turned to the new album, Faygo Baby, the opening track. You start with the first line, which is just like, all right, you're setting the table right away, but staying optimistic is exhausting. And the opening track is manic. It is. It's. I think you speak volumes to people who they do a good project, or they do whatever, a good podcast, or they do a good video, whatever, and it's like you feel like, all right, this is it. This is going to be it. This is going to put me on the pedestal that I need to be. And then of course, like, you don't get the return that you thought you were going to get, so then you get negative again, but then you want to stay optimistic. Can you talk about your own personal kind of this roller coaster ride that you've been on, and how do you continue to stay optimistic and stay hopeful?
Yeah, dude, you hit the nail on the head. Like you get ready to do something, a project or whatever it is you do in your life, and you just like in your head, like, all right, this is it. And I'm just naturally an optimistic person in general. So, but like after a while, you just be wanting your optimism to like match your reality for real. Like it's like, all right, I like being hopeful, because like wallowing and being upset and feeling like nothing is going right for you, that's worse than being like optimistic to me. Mm-hmm. So it's just like after a while, it's just like you just wake up and you like, damn, we like again with this shit. like I gotta like psych myself up and get ready to like keep this shit going, like until something changes in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's exhausting. Very exhausting.
So on Manic, you spit, and I'm going to apologize in advance for hopefully not butchering them too much, but you spit 4 past 4:40 a.m., a baby born in poverty from the evils of infancy, needed purpose, feeling helpless, invincible, and that same stream of consciousness that I adopted kept me further from the surface. And these lyrics stand out to me for many reasons, but one thing that I really heard in terms of flow and voice, it reminded me of Crooked Eye when he delivers lines like this, and the way he delivers it, you're like, all right, no matter what's happening in the song, he wants us to hear these lines with this delivery. And then kind of your flow on this reminded me of those lyrics, particularly reminded me of a kind of a Crooked Eye move. Can you break down these lyrics for us and the importance of them for you?
Those were very, very, very heavy. But, so, okay. It was 4 past 4:40 a.m. I was born at 4:40 a.m. on December 12th. So, like, and that ties into my last project, too. Like, it was like at the four, like, if you see it, my homegirl who, like, my spirit animal, I guess, I called her one day and I was like, I keep seeing fours. Like I keep catching the clock at 4:44, or I'll see 4 this, 4, you know what I'm saying? I kept seeing that, and that all is like, it's like related to home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that project came about. But I was just saying, like 4 past 4:40 a.m. Like I was born at 4:44, and like I feel like when you born, your purpose kind of finds you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like your purpose finds you, but then like as you get older, you have to like realize it, or you know what I'm saying? Like you have to find it.
Right.
So 4 past 4:40 a.m., a baby born in poverty from the ethers of infancy needed purpose. Feeling helpless and visible in that same stream of consciousness that I adopted kept me further from the surface. That's just basically like the invisible feeling, like what we were just talking about, like feeling invisible or feeling like you can't talk to anybody or something, like
right.
nobody's trying to hear where you coming from. Like that follows you your whole life. That changes you. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually you have to adapt. Like when you feel like you just being sensitive because you just came to you came to somebody and they kind of just wrote you off or brushed you off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, eventually you got to just learn how to deal with that, and that just sets off just a whole I don't even know the word, the whole lineage, I guess, of just like you just dealing with problems the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like learned behavior. Like we just learn how to deal with anxiety and how to deal with depression. We learn how to do it wrong, and then we just carry it into our adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that helpless, invisible feeling. Like it's like basically carrying that same helplessness that you have as a child into your adulthood.
I'd rather be around some love for the night than to lay up with my dick in hand, lusting over chicken heads, puffing on the swisher still. Medicine for the dizziness, band-aids over the trauma, my feet fidgeting. Don't leave me with my thoughts if you love me. Trust me, they get ugly. Price tag on peace, I'm watching numbers increase. I'm careful around police, they busting across the street. It's never nothing to eat.
You know, I want to continue on with the track "Get Myself Together." I think is a phenomenal track. It also, I imagine, was very challenging in a way because, and I say challenging because it's you rhyming / singing, right? And it comes off as very upbeat, but then when you like really look at the lyrics and listen to the lyrics, those lyrics are not upbeat at all. You know, I mean, you have a line like, "This lady across the street, she's getting her ass beat. It's teddy bears on the curb. It's bottles of Hennessy." That's how we say R.I.P. So put me around some LOVE, 6'3", but I feel 6 feet. I feel 6 feet deep. And then of course the opening lyric, you know, those lyrics, don't leave me with my thoughts if you love me. Trust me, shit get ugly. Obviously not upbeat lyrics at all, right? What can you just kind of talk about how you decided to construct a song in this way? Like why the singing on a track that's not upbeat at all?
Well, that came about because when I was writing the song, I heard the next door. I heard like this couple, they was outside just fighting, like, and then I walked to the store. In the middle of writing that song, I put my headphones in. I was walking to the store, and it's like these vigils, and I think that's the word, a vigil or memorial. I guess I say memorial. Like right. When somebody dies, like in the neighborhood, like they put like teddy bears and Hennessy and like, well, not Hennessy, but like whatever that person would drink. You know what I'm saying? They drink right. Choice with a picture of them and stuff like that, like in the spot where they died at. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is just the stuff that it's just stuff that's I'm seeing as I'm working on this song or like just living my life. Like I walk 5 minutes around the corner to the street, I passed this memorial of this girl who got shot, and it's just like that's how we say R.I.P. Like that's what R.I.P. means. It's like she died right here, so we about to just memorialize her in this moment. Mm-hmm. Like they put teddy bears and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's just stuff that that I'm just I guess used to seeing for real. Like, and I don't know why I chose to make it sound so like bouncy, but like dark. I don't know how that even happened. I couldn't tell you how that happened.
and that lyrical part where you say, when you say forth, a lady across the street, she's getting her ass beat. It's like also brought me to the time of totally like a Coogee Rap Streets of New York song. Mm-hmm. Jack, like it's kind of same thing where you get the sense, and with you as well, like you get the sense you're at home. And you're writing and things are happening around you and you're incorporating all that into your music at the same time. Say with G-Rap being at his apartment and he's incorporating everything and he hears in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
The line "a martyr for the wealthy," what does that mean?
When you got a job, a 9-to-5 job, like you're a martyr for the wealthy. It's just like you go into work. You break your back, you sacrifice your time and your time with your family and your time to relax and your time to do what you really want to do in life. You sacrifice that all to go make somebody else more rich. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that work the hardest at any job you go to, like whoever is working the hardest is almost like 99.9% getting paid the very least out of everybody that's in the building. You know what I'm saying? So like that's just what working is to me. It's just like you just like a comic, like you just a martyr for people to just get rich, and you just disposable for real to people.
And you know, my understanding is that you are, I mean, like many hip hop artists, I feel that this is not their, you know, unfortunately, hip hop is not their main financial gig, right? They have other jobs that they have to do, you know, like Apathy does real estate, and you know, many other jobs. How, if at all, maybe does having a second, I guess, you know, a second job, how does it kind of help your artistic drive?
It helps because it's one is the reason to just leave my house, and you know, the little, you know, just you be having stuff to pay for and stuff like that,
right?
With the music, and you gotta have somewhere to stay, and you feel me, like just your basic responsibilities as a person and shit like that,
right?
Like so, it kind of helps. I can't all the way shit on it, but
right.
it's exhausting.
Yeah, I can imagine. The track Bravado, it comes off as obviously as a track of like a breakup with a girl, right? But I have a feeling I'm wrong about that it's not about a girl. I feel like it's about your relationship with hip hop and rap music. Can you kind of break down this track for us and the meaning behind it?
Jeez, I make such dark music. Okay, so it's like Bravado is just basically it's like kind of me in middle school, like kind of how I felt in middle school. It was just like about like I just like I had issues with my confidence and stuff like that when I was growing up as a kid. So like you like
my baby left for the designer, nigga with Prada flippers. Oh God, they drowning in the shallows. Watching from the shadows.
A rare occasion when I make confessions. Facing rejection.
A rare occasion when I make confessions. Like I was just saying, like I don't do this often. I don't like. I mean, I'm pretty open in my music, but like this to me, that's like my most vulnerable song. Like that's the most like that's something I've never talked about. Like I never talked about like how it was. Like I didn't get bullied in school or nothing like that. But like it's just a thing like where again with black people like we roast each other. I mean everybody roasts each other, but like we take it to a whole nother level. So it's just like everything that people used to roast me about, like, was stuff that I had already felt subconscious about. So it was like kind of like it hurt twice as much, I guess. Like it was just like a reassurance, like, oh, this is fucked up or this is fucked up. Like I said in the song, cause I've been cracked on, the black child, the one with the fat nose. You niggas got jokes. Oh, you mad now? I needed a backbone. Like. I had a big ass nose, and that was just all. I have a big ass nose, and that was always the butt of every joke. And then with black kids, when we roasting each other and shit, like if you get mad, like if you get upset, then they go even harder on you. So it's like if somebody make a joke about me and I don't laugh or I don't clap back, then it's like it'll get quiet for like a second, and then everybody be like, "Hey, yo, he's salty as fuck," and then now the joke is like that he's mad now. So you know what I'm saying? It's like it stops, and then it just goes right back to people making fun of you. So that was me just opening up about that, like how I felt about that, because I wasn't as quick witted as I am now. So I used to really you just got to learn how to take a joke for real. Or you would like that shit could really, really be detrimental, because that's what that whole song is about. That whole song is basically me roasting myself for real, like owning everything. So it's not as dark. It's like it still kind of has like a positive undertone to it, but it's more so just me like owning up to like all the jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't want people listening to think this is like the darkest album and they're going to leave depressed at all, at all times. No, I mean, I think it's like, it doesn't come off that way. So I didn't mean for my questions also to come off that way as well.
Oh man, no, you good.
I think another thing I appreciate that you're not just an MC, right? You also produce, and I believe you produced 3 of the tracks on this album as well. What is your 2 questions? What's like the biggest artistic kind of obstacle for you when you're producing yourself, but what is also your favorite thing about producing for yourself?
I like producing for myself because like when I'm making a beat or something, like when I'm like really like in my bag, then I can just sit with certain, like I can build the song a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm starting something and it's kind of like in the skeleton phase of the beat, if I start like writing to it, then like once I finish writing, I can like add more to it or take something. You know what I'm saying? Like I can manipulate it a little bit more than if it was somebody else.
Right. Is there this is my final question. I appreciate your time for taking your time for this. Is there I mean, I feel like I wrote some that I shared with you some of the gems I like from this album. But is there kind of a lyric on this album that is kind of that you've released it and said, oh shit, I still can't believe I wrote that lyric, and it also means a lot to me?
I have a song like that. I couldn't pinpoint one specific lyric.
Okay, what song would it be?
Yeah, my favorite song on Faygo Baby is "Thoughts to Expand On."
Nice.
That's my absolute favorite.
Was that the first song you wrote for the project, or was it? When did that come to be?
That one kind of snuck on the album for real. Like I had I was working on it, and I think I might have made it before I started working on Faygo Baby. But then the more and more I listened to it, it was just like I just sent it off to everybody. I didn't even, when I sent it off to people, I didn't send it like, hey, this is for the album. I just sent it like, hey, this is a song I just did, just to get, you know what I'm saying, like to see how people reacted to it. Mm-hmm. And like people just loved it. So that just worked for me. But that is like my favorite song. That's one of my favorite songs I ever made.
Oh wow. That's dope. So what's next for you? I mean, what is the, restrictions are being lifted, is there a tour? And then also, of course, how do people continue to follow what you're doing?
Well, Instagram and Twitter and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I am dying to get on somebody's tour, so I would love to go on tour and just travel and just keep building everything up for real, because it was rough doing all this during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, it's really hard not putting in FaceTime with people and meeting people and actually getting out there, and because social media is cool, but like people still gotta see you.
Right. No, definitely, that's true. New project is Faygo Baby. The artist is Kipp Stone. Kipp, thank you so much, man. It's been really appreciative to have a chance to listen to your music and read your lyrics, and of course interview you on Library Rap with Tim Heineken. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, what's up? It's your boy Joel Ortiz, and I want everybody to make sure that they subscribe and download the podcast, Library Rap, the hip-hop interviews with Tim Heineken. Yo, Tim, I hope all is well. You my guy. I know these interviews are not interviews, they're actually conversations, and I appreciate them all. Yawa.
Hard enough not to be broken, soft enough to feel. All my emotions implosive, stocked up on the shelves. But don't talk about my feels. You barking up the wrong tree. I'd rather break the seal tonight. I'm flowing like a tall tea. Cypher days, cooking up quarter peas like Paula Dean. My worst nightmare is waking up for I hold a dream. A hopeless Romeo, vocals freezing the moments needed. I hold my peace. If I told my secrets, they won't believe it. I know the reason they broke agreements and woke the demons. So on me, my only reason for being is weaving a 16 for the people that truly need it. Peace of mind, highest giraffe, I'm reaching. Thoughts to expand on. Now we like a universe apart, feeling through the dark, trying to live my heart straight to sunshine. Take it from the start, save me from my thoughts, take me to the well for it run dry. someone